what's his biggest military issue? Is it the lack of fresh troops? Is it the computer chips that are coming from washing machines to support some of their equipment? Is it supply lines? What is his big military issue?
I think he's got several big military issues. First of all, his best units have been shattered, and he's having real difficulty rebuilding his military structure. But even before that, he premised the invasion on bad intelligence. He thought Ukraine would collapse. It didn't collapse. The Ukrainians told me before this, he can't possibly intend to invade Ukraine with 200,000 troops. We're a huge country. We're 600 miles east, 1,000 kilometers east to west. You can't occupy and do anything with that country with 200,000 troops. They knew it. That's one of the reasons why Zelensky was slow to accept the intelligence. But what he didn't understand is Putin thought he's going to roll right in, a bunch of traitors show up, Russian sympathizers in every little town, inside every police force, inside the mayor's offices and in the oblast provincial governments. And that people would just say, oh, thank God Russia's back, these Ukrainians. But it didn't happen. And so he disengaged there. The Russian military then it's a powerful military, but he's lost a lot of leadership. The leadership was targeted. That's been intensified with the arrival of HIMARS, which is taking out the command post. The logistics wasn't structured really for a war of movement. Russian logistics depends on railroads. So they don't run on highways. The American logistics runs on trucks, not railroad. When he gets very far from the railhead, he can't resupply his troops. Yes, they're running out of new equipment and new hardware. He overestimated the impact of the Russian modernization. Before World War II, Stalin started building the Soviet military machine in 1927. In 1939, 40, he had more than 300 divisions worth of equipment. And when British and Western leaders told him in 1941, you better be careful because Hitler's going to attack you. This was after the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, and he'd occupied half of Poland. Stalin could laugh it off. He said, Hitler can't be that stupid. He has 6 panzer divisions, and they're running on horse-drawn logistics. Most of his people are walking across Russia. This is like a Napoleonic invasion. He said, my people move in trucks. And so forth. He just couldn't believe that Hitler would attack. He had a real military machine, and they'd fought through the Russian Civil War for several years. Putin's an amateur. He never fought a war. That Russian military machine collapsed. It was sold off for parts, for corruption purposes, for exports for 30 years, and suddenly he tries to spring it into action. Now, you give him, with his government, a couple of years, China's support, control of the information space in Russia, unlimited repression of dissent. He might be able to manufacture a military machine. That's what the Ukrainians are concerned about. That's why we have to finish this now, convince Putin he can't win, and get him out of there, and then let him figure out his own way to survive. And maybe he'll be angry for a couple of years, but maybe you can go in with other blandishments, and maybe Putin will recognize it's a different world. Maybe he won't. But this is the moment of opportunity for the Ukrainian military.